Hey everybody, the Real Rhino here again. If I seem a little subdued or I'm speaking a little quietly, that's because my normal partner in crime, Jackson, who is sleeping in the next room, he kind of is allergic to the sound of my booming voice, and he tends to wake up. So I'm going to try and be quiet. Otherwise, Mom will get real mad, and I don't want that. I had a chance to see two more movies this weekend. I saw, of course, Green Zone on Friday, and I talked to you about that already. But yesterday, that was Saturday, I went and saw Brooklyn's Finest. This is an uplifting film that just, boy, it reached out to the heartstrings and just tugged on them. Such a, no, not at all. Not uplifting, very dark. Anton Fuqua, who had previously, of course, given us Training Day, amongst other movies. Very gritty, very dark, very dirty cop drama with Richard Gere, Ethan Hawke, Wesley Snipes back on the screen. Very nice. Good to see him back since the Blade and going way back to like Passenger 57 and Wildcats and Major League. But it's nice to see him back after his run-in with the law, his tax issues. Of course, he always entertains, and I think he did a real solid job in this. And also in that, Don Cheadle, and then my favorite of the bunch, Will Patton, of course, who was in Armageddon, and he played in the movie Fled with Lawrence Fishburne and I think it was Stephen Baldwin. Will Patton's a real stand-up actor. I enjoy seeing anything he's in. He was also the villain in The Postman. Yeah, The Postman. I'm referencing The Postman. Kevin Costner's, I think it was considered a flop, but I actually kind of enjoyed that. Well, anyway, back to Brooklyn's Finest. Not very uplifting. You don't leave the theater with a real good feeling. This is not a heroic portrayal of the NYPD, and of course, this focuses in Brooklyn, being Brooklyn's finest, and really an enjoyable film to watch because you have all these stories interwoven, maybe to a fault. The movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and I think that if it were a little bit shorter, it would have come together a little bit nicer. I think it's stretched out just a little bit too much. So, that's really my only critique. Otherwise, I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. I enjoy a good drama. I guess you could almost consider it a thriller. It was kind of an action movie. It had a lot of different elements in it, but it was an enjoyable movie all around. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 horns. And today, I had the opportunity to go and see Repo Men with Jude Law, Forrest Whitaker, Liev Schreiber, and what's her name, Alice Varga, or oh gosh, I'll have to look that up now. Let's see, what is that gal's name? Well, we'll leave it for. It's the gal from I Am Legend. It's Alice. I think it's Varga. Maybe I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But Repo Men. A little disappointed in the Hollywood system with this one. I don't know if anybody who's watching this remembers, about a year and a half ago, Darren Lynn Bousman, who had formerly directed Saw 2, 3, and 4, had a musical horror movie called Repo the Genetic Opera. And almost bit for bit, there were 3 or 4 very similar plot points from Repo the Genetic Opera to Repo Men. And Repo Men was very much a Hollywoodized version of what they had done with Repo the Genetic Opera, which was actually, if I'm not mistaken, based on a stage play that was being done in L.A. prior to Darren Lynn Bousman picking that up. Darren Lynn Bousman, also a local Kansas City guy, so we always like to give a shout out to him. And Repo the Genetic Opera is far superior, in my opinion, to Repo Men. That being said, there were several fight scenes in Repo Men I actually enjoyed a great deal. And those scenes, as set pieces, if you would, those fight scenes were enough, I think, to help carry the film, just at least as in terms of becoming watchable. So I would very much say it was a watchable film. But given the choice between Repo Men and Repo the Genetic Opera, Repo the Genetic Opera 100 times over. Repo Men gets 3 out of 5 horns from the Real Rhino. And just looking back into the archives, Repo the Genetic Opera actually got 4.5 out of 5 unicorns, and that could be surprising, given that Repo the Genetic Opera actually, one of its main characters is played by Paris Hilton. So any movie that carries Paris as one of the leads, I think, is always going to be criticized a little more sharply than perhaps a second look would really warrant it deserving. So take another look at Repo the Genetic Opera, coming out real soon. Of course, that has got me very excited. Kick Ass comes out, oh gosh, April 16th, almost a month away. And then this week, one of my favorites actually that I've been heralding the same way I did The Hangover last year, Hot Tub Time Machine. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and I hope to get out and see that without a doubt. For now, this is the Reel Rhino saying, hey, you know what, it's tough doing this as a one-man show. I think eventually what I'd like to do is kind of find a co-host, and so I can banter a little bit with. It's tough to do the one-man show with just the camera here on the desk, but I love movies, and I hope you get something out of this. You know, we'll see. We'll see how this thing develops. For now, the Reel Rhino saying good night.